Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Gung Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gum Havamahe. Kabim Kabinam Upamashabastamam. Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata. Anashrinmannudibhisridasadanam. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidanandamurtaye Nisprapanchaya Shantaya Nidalambaya Tejase. Om Yasyatma Bhudasya Guru Prasadat Aham Vimuktasmi Samsara Bandhad Sarvopateshtu Shivananda Murte Mridvangrivukmam Pranadosmi Nityam Dayasindhum Dena Bandhum Shastrartha Bodhana Patum Maskarindra Varam Naumi Sri Chidananda Satgurum. Om Praninam Dukkha Hartarav Jnanado Bhuvana Muktaye Shivananda Chidananda Ashraye Guru Sattamo. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramachandraya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramachandraya. Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Chidanandaya. Chidanandaya. So, I've been sharing with you on the ancient scripture, the Vedas. I said that it is known by the name Shruti because it is learned by hearing. And I also shared with you that it takes into consideration the universal need of all living beings, that is freedom and happiness. Freedom and happiness are the universal need of all living beings here. It takes into consideration and it speaks about how to be free, how to be happy. So, although I mentioned the other aspects, I did not bring out a core point. Usually we go by, as the thought comes, I speak to you. But the core point is how one can be happy if I have to be happy. If I want to be free, what is the basic thing? What is the basic need? What is that which has to be fulfilled so that one can be free and happy? If I want to be happy, what is the essential thing? I should be happy with all things here. Nothing in this outside should disturb me. You should not disturb me. Your presence should not disturb me. If your presence disturbs me, means I cannot be happy. So there are millions of things here. You cannot silence everything. You cannot make everything not to disturb you. Something will disturb you. You cannot stop the cyclone. Cyclone will come. Thunder will come. Some days it will be very hot. Oh, the climate is very bad. I can disturb. So the environment you cannot change. The environment is playing a key role in your happiness. So if you try to change the environment to suit your conditions, it may not suit the other person's condition. So he will try to change it the other way around so that you are unhappy and he is happy. So the ancient says that we should adapt to the situation here. We should not disturb anything here. I don't want to get disturbed. I don't want anybody to disturb me. So they say, okay, that's a fine idea. But also mind you that you should not disturb anything. We always want that I am always right, the boss is always right, you are wrong. Why not the other way around? Sometimes you can also go wrong. So they observed that our disturbance is mainly not because of the outside world is disturbing you. It is because that you get disturbed unnecessarily and you disturb the other things here. So you should be able to coexist, remain peacefully, remain happy with everything here. So the environment is here. That environment I don't mean that the trees and other things are everything here, including the human beings. Everything here. Everything here is existing as you are existing. As you want to be happy, they also want to be happy. So don't disturb their happiness and make them disturb your happiness. First you stop disturbing the other beings. You try to coexist with them and try to grow with them. So one of the famous mantra which is very often repeated is called the Purusha Sukta. Sukta means, normally people think it is glorification. It is not that way. Sukta means well said. Sushtu Uktam, well said. Something, he put it very beautifully. He said it, explained it very nicely. Sukta, Purusha Sukta, Narayana Sukta. The Vedas are full of suktas, well said things. So Purusha means that, normally we say Purusha means man. That's not the meaning. That which fills everything. Puranatvad Purusha. Purishayenadva. Purishayenadva. That which indwells every being. That which fills everything here. That which indwells you. That conscious principle. That intelligence. That energy that indwells in you. The very same thing indwells in the tree here. That which fills you here, it fills that also. You also breathe, the tree also breathes. So the dog breathes. The dog has got intelligence. The tiger has got intelligence. It has got energy. So that which fills, indwells in every being, that is called the Purusha. And that, in that Purusha Sukta they say that don't disturb any of these things. It is a mantra which is used for at the time of prayer. Urdhvan jigadu beshajam shamno astu dvipate sam chatuspate tachayyoravranemahe gatum yajnaya gatum yajnapataye devi swastirastunaha swastirastunaha. Let us all be happy. Naha means the prayer is not be, let me be happy, let everything come unto me. It's not that way. Swastirastunaha, it's a plural. Swastirastunaha. Let us all be peaceful. Urdhvan jigadu beshajam. That what is this naha? What is that we? Let us all be happy here. What is that we? Whether it includes you and me alone, or my family, or my country. It's not that way. Urdhvan jigadu beshajam. Beshajam means the plant life. Let the plant life grow well. Let there be rich flora. Let everything be beautiful here. Let there be rich growth of the plant life. The flora, everything make green. Urdhvan jigadu beshajam. Shamno astu dvipate. Sam chatuspate. Let the bipeds be happy. Let the quadrupeds be happy. Samno astu dvipate. Dvipate means, but the two-legged may be happy. The four-legged be happy. Samno astu dvipate. Sam chatuspate. Let the quadrupeds be happy. The bipeds does not mean human beings. Bipeds means the wild animals. The wild animals are called bipeds in the Vedic literature. Bipeds, two-legged animals, most of them are the wild animals. There is a beautiful way of presentation of the maintaining peace with everything here. Now there is a lot of tall talks about environmental protection, this and that and all these things. After spoiling everything, we talk about that and still continue to spoil that. There's a beautiful story in the Puranas, in the Bhagavad. The story is like this. There was a person, not a person, a group of persons it is. They are called by one name, as we call, they are Indians, they are Germans. So like that, there was a group of persons. They were called Prachetas. Their father told, hey, go and pray to God and beget good children. Then they went for praying. So they started praying, then in the prayer they got involved in the prayer, they got immersed in the prayer. And they forgot the world. They forgot the time. They were in deep meditation for millions of years. It is a story, it is an imagery. You should not put wrong logic there. Whether it is possible for a human being to live million years, that question you should not ask. That shows that's a sign of immaturity in that person. It conveys a message. That message has to be received. So millions of years there. And then after some time they opened the eyes. They saw that very thick forest. Even sunlight cannot enter into that. They were not able to understand from where they came, what is the route, how to go there. They want to go back and tell their father, yes, we are now ready for marriage. But what happened? They could not make out the way. What is this nonsense? No route is there. Then they became angry. And that anger was converted into fire. They started burning all the trees. So, trees are being burnt. Then the Creator came. He came and told, my dear children, what are you doing? You are burning in your anger, you are burning all these things. What is this you are doing? Then he tells, I created 3 things here. That which has no feet, that which has got feet, that which has got hands. Put like this, so beautiful these stories are. Many of you are not aware of all these things, although these are available in books, and the Kathagars will never tell all these things. See, if you see the creation, in the creation, the one is a food, the other one is an eater. One eats the other one. That one is eaten by the other thing. That one is eaten by other thing. So, everything is food here. Everything is anna. Anna means food. And everything is an annada. Everything. You are a food and you are eater too. You eat some food and you form food for something else. I was in South Africa, and in one of the coasts, one lady was living, and she is living alone, and in that coast is nobody was there. And how come that you live here? I thought. I live peacefully, Swamiji, no problem. And then she was explaining about the life there, what are observations. So the sea waves bring weeds. Weeds, they put the weeds there, seaweeds. And after some time, when the low tide comes, the weeds become dry. When the weeds become dry, some insects come and eat all the weeds. And they break it into small pieces and they eat. When the high tide comes, the fishes come. The fishes eat these small insects, flies, etc. When we opened some weeds, I found a lot of flies. Then she said, when the high tide comes, the fish will eat this. She has observed all these things. And those fish are eaten by big fishes. And those fish are eaten by human beings. And they are again eaten by insects when they die. How beautiful. And she put it so beautifully. She doesn't know much philosophy. But she was living with the environment, close to the environment. And she gets absorbed in that. So everything is a food here and everything is a eater also. So first I created that which has no feet, the grass. The cow comes and eats that. If the grass is provided with feet, if the grass has feet, means what will happen? The cow will come to eat. The grass will start running. And the cow has to chase that. So I made it in such a way that they don't have feet. And the cow come, this cow which has got feet, they come and eat that. And those cow, goat, and then the deer, they are the food for the wild animals which uses their front legs like hand. The tiger is, although for you it is a quadruped, but it is a biped only, because it uses the front leg as like hand that will tear like this, and it take if it kills a deer, it will carry like this. It will carry on this hand. So they are bipeds actually. So I have created those who have no feet. They are the food for those which have got feet, and those which have got feet are the food for those which have got hands. Thus there is a cycle. If you break one's link in that, if you cut, if trees are no more there, means the quadrupeds cannot survive. If the quadrupeds cannot survive, the bipeds cannot survive. So if you spoil one thing, if you disturb one thing, don't think that you are disturbing here alone. You are disturbing the whole mechanism. If there is one tooth is paining, the whole system is paining. Which is not. I have tooth pain. I am all right. You cannot say you are not all right. So even any disturbance at the micro level will affect the macro level. That is your own experience. So don't disturb anything. If you want to be at peace with yourself, don't try to disturb other things for your peace. It will disturb you. The moment you disturb there, internally there is a disturbance is taking place in you. So don't disturb anything. Be at peace with everything. This is the core Upadesha. This is what you have to learn here. Not this lifting hands and doing this yogasana. Forward bend and backward bend, yet you can learn anywhere. But this you have to learn here. So your peace is dependent on the peace of everything here. So you be at peace with yourself and give the peace to all things here. Urdhvan jigadu beshajam shamno astu dvipate sham chatuspate loka samastha sukhino bhavantu. All these are not prayers. These are all meditations. It is not let all things be happy, oh God, make everybody happy. It's not a prayer. If you make a prayer at the lip level, you won't be happy. The prayer should come from here, from the inner core actually. Let all things be happy. It's a meditation. How far you are able to assimilate that? Do you really mean that? And if you mean that, will you be able to conduct yourself in such a way? So everywhere in the scriptures, behind these stories, these will be there. So there is one sukta called Oshadhi Sukta in the Vedas. Oshadhi means trees. There are 16 mantras which speaks about the ecology only. Don't disturb anything. That is your lifeline. If you disturb that, you are disturbing that. Now we talk about ecology, that's 100, 200 years. The World Ecology Day, World Environment Day, all nonsense. You have emptied the Atlantic Ocean of fish, and then you talk about environment. So they say that these are all, there is an interdependence. We need that and that need us. So there is an interdependence, don't disturb that. In most of these things are taken to be rituals, taken to be prayers. But they are not prayers, they are meditations. For rituals, we need kusha grass. For all rituals, they need kusha grass. The Brahmins, just 50 years before, those who do the rituals, they will not buy the kusha grass on the market. It was not available. Those days it was never sold. The flower is being sold now in the market. Earlier nobody will sell flower. They will go and pluck flowers from their garden or something. Because the urbanization, there is no garden, there is no flowers. So otherwise they will pluck flowers from their garden only. So the kusha grass they need, the Brahmins will have to go and bring them themselves. And the Veda says that you should not cut the grass any day you like. There is a particular day, only on that day you can go and cut it. So the Pandits will go on that particular day. A month, 1 month, Amavasya like that. That full moon day or new moon day. New moon day. New moon day they have to go and cut it. And there is a time also. At what time? You cannot go at 7 o'clock evening and cut. There is a time. So at that time they should go and cut that. While cutting that or before cutting that, they have to make a prayer to the grass. I need your service. I am going to cut you. For that, for my use, I want you, that I will cut you. But don't be angry with me. I will cut it in such a way that you won't become extinct. You don't uproot the grass like this. They will cut it from the top. When you cut it from the top, when it rains again, then again it will sprout. If you uproot that, then it can't come. So they will cut it from the top, leaving the sod as it is, leaving the roots as it is. And before cutting there is a prayer. Now nobody knows. It remains in the book. And they may chant this, but they do not know the meaning. Kandat, kandat prarohanti. From every junction you will sprout. I will not disturb you. I need you. So I will do it such a way. So be friendly with me. We belong to the same universe. We are coexisting here. You are like my brother. So I will not disturb you. I will take it from the top, so that when it rains again, you sprout again. And it also says that we should not pollute the water. These are all something very new to you, but these are all the Vedas. Don't pollute, because nothing should be disturbed. If you pollute the water, even Western philosophers have said that. There was a person called Tilly. I do not know whether Asopaji will be speaking to you on this subject. There's a philosopher, Tilly, he says, water is everything here. There's a Vedic mantra which says, Apo va idagum sarvam. Apo va idagum sarvam. Water is everything here. If there is no water, what will happen? Nothing can exist here. So, the mantra says, don't spit in water. Na apsutti ved. People used to live near the water source. Earlier there was no piped water supply. Pumping and other things were not there. So always they live. Even the animals will live near water sources. So the human habitats developed near water sources. So they go to the river and take baths. They drink the water. They use that water only. Either the streams, streamlets, rivers. So they understood that the rivers are the source of their life. They never took it as an element. They took it as something which is supporting me. My life, my existence is dependent on that. So they had a respect for that. That is why in India they call it as Ganga Maya. We don't call it as river. And people used to worship water. They go and prostrate to the river. So na abstutti vet. You should not spit in water. While taking bath, normally they swim. Then water enters into the mouth. That is prohibited. Very interesting thing I have seen. I lived in a small village. I have repeated this many times to people. Near Kaveri, on the Kaveri banks, for quite some time for my studies. Very early morning I used to go to the river, 2 kilometers walk from the village, and then go and take bath. At that time light will be just coming, twilight will be there. And then some other Brahmins will also take bath. Later on, when we finished our bath, the women folk will come. They will take bath. And I have noticed, it has come to my notice. Many times I have seen this much water, the ladies will get into this much water and then wash their teeth. They will spit on the bank. They will not spit there. I have seen, it came to my notice after seeing so many times, they will always spit on the bank. They will never spit there. And sometimes I see that the elderly Brahmins, the priest class, those who have studied scriptures, very orthodox people, when they take bath, they are standing in this much water and chanting. First they take a dip and then chant mantras and the Agamarshana Sukta, etc. I used to hear. And then sometimes when they take a dip and come out, water enters in their mouth. They will spit it in the hand and put it into the water. This I have noticed. One day I asked the person, why you do like this? Why you do like this, I asked. Then he told me we should not spit in water. Then he quoted this mantra. Before that, I did not know this mantra. Of course, I have studied, but I have not noticed it. Na apsushti vet. Don't spit in water. That is the meaning. Oh. Then I said, kept quiet. And then I realized they have taken it not in the spirit. So they spit it in the hand and throw it. It means that you don't spit in the water. You are doing the same thing. There is only an intermediary there. Then I told him, you see, the lady spit that side. We are spitting here. But he is deep into the water. He cannot come and spit there. Maybe that. It doesn't matter what. The story is just to tell you that. Not to say something against the person or to glorify the women. Just to make you understand that the scripture prohibits pollution of water. Don't pollute water. It was not maybe 4,000, 5,000 years before. It comes in the Vedas, not in the recent books. So why all these things? Your existence here is dependent on everything here. You are not independent here. Don't think that I am an independent fellow. I will do whatever I like. If you think like that, you cannot be happy. You will not be happy. You will be disturbed by your own actions. So the core teaching is to be at peace with everything here. If you are disturbed in your family life, don't think that the others are also responsible. You are also equally responsible. To what extent you are able to adjust with that? To what extent there is reconciliation? Are you able to reconcile with everything here? So the technique of reconciliation with everything here, to be at peace with everything here, to give joy to everything here, that is actually the core teaching of the scriptures. It speaks about that is actually the philosophy. Accepting everything here as you accept your own personality is the ultimate philosophy of this country. You don't search for a God outside this. We search for Him here and now. We call it as Sarvatma Bhava. Sarvatma Bhava. God is omnipresent. His omnipresence has to be felt here and now. We don't feel the omnipresence elsewhere. So that is the core teaching of the Vedas. And I have mentioned that the structure of the Veda is in the form of poetry, and the studying that, understanding that, needs an application, a dedication. So you need to dedicate yourself to understand, and it may not be possible for everyone. It has got meanings. Each word has got meaning at different levels. At the elemental level, at the personal level, at macro level, at micro level, at universal level. When we say Agni, for example, fire, it can be the elemental fire. It can be the fire in you, the Jatara Agni, the Agni in the Jatara, in your stomach. When a person goes to a doctor, so here there is pain. There is Agni Mandya is there. Your Agni is Manda. The Agni is not very good. It has to be kindled. The Ayurveda physicians used to say. So there is Agni here, there is the elemental fire. There is the fire here. That is a micro level fire. And that is a macro level fire. So the Veda has to be interpreted, can be interpreted in different ways, and all are true at that level. It has got a meaning at the elemental level. It has got a meaning at the micro level, at the individual level, and it has got a meaning at the macro level, at the universal level. So because of these studies are difficult, later on they thought, I will bring about certain things, small things, so that they can remember and use it in their daily life. Those books are called the Smritis. Those Smritis, there are different Smritis, the Parashara Smriti, the Yajnavalkya Smriti, the Manu Smriti. Smriti means to remember. So Shruti means it is heard and learned. Out of that, certain things you have to remember. You need not remember the whole thing, but certain things you have to remember. Those things I will tell you now, and I have put it in the form of small books called Smritis. That is how the later authors, they have taken the essential teachings of the Vedas and brought out a small books called Smritis, which I will share with you tomorrow.